All right, all praises to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, double on the soul, pulse and the elders in the York. Great Millstone. My name is Maya Kala, Bungad, Chicago branch of Great Millstone. All right, I'm dealing with this guy named Robert the Brew. All right, and he responded to my comment left to him. He said that it's a lie that Block Wall Street was destroyed by the Edomites, so-called white tea people. It's all left comment like this diabolical because there's all types of old pictures of Esau that close home again got burned down and everything. The residents didn't do it. Then it got Airbnb. It was the first time that happened that a city in America got domestically Airbnb, BOMB. And a lot of old people witnessed said they heard the plane and everything before the BOMB drop. You got many old witnesses, all right, 100 years old, all right, saying that they seen the Edomites looting and burning and everything, laughing at people and stuff, man. All right, you got pictures of this stuff happening, man. And this before, long time before AI happened, man. I remember this stuff when I was a little boy, man. I was born in '76, so I seen this stuff like in probably like in the late '80s, going to the '90s. Then I seen it again throughout 2000s and up to now, man. So you can't lie and say it's AI pictures anything. The pictures it's in black and white. Even Esau took the pictures themselves, man. His own people took a picture of the destruction they had caused. All right, and this guy, he's unstable, man. James 1:8, a double man is unstable in all his ways, man. This guy is unstable, man. Let me get this scripture right here. Psalms 58:3. The wicked are estranged from the womb; they go astray as be born, speaking lies. This guy's a liar, man. All right. First he said they didn't do it. Then he came back and tried to justify it, talking about Jake, but with so-called black boy had essayed a Edomite girl, white tea girl, man. So you're a liar, man. And history proves you're a liar. You go right here. All right. And he's all in the video. Basically talking about this last minute evidence. Hold on for a minute. Let me get this. All right, hold on. All right. So I said, how many black town cities were taken or destroyed by graces? All right, Tony Elites. It says short answer. Historically, dozens of black towns, neighborhoods, communities in the United States were attacked, burned, destroyed, violently empty by graces mobs. At least 50 towns, cities, and county forces expelled their black population entirely. Below is a clear factual breakdown based on the sources you triggered. All right, you can see it right here. All right, all the reasons. And the reason why, because Esau was jealous, man. All right, because he been told this lie ever since he was a little boy that the bunch of so-called blacks and so-called Indians, Judites, so-called North American Indians, and so-called Seminole Indians, all right, was worthless and didn't know anything. That was a lie that his forefathers told him, and they a bunch of ignorant people. All right, when you look at our history, our people are extremely intelligent, man. All right, we was healers, aka doctors. All right, agriculturalists, farmers, metal workers, wood workers, stone workers, politicians, leather workers, etc. All right, we had trading skills. All right, some was leaders, leaders, prince, kings, etc., chiefs, etc., etc., travelers, traders of goods and stuff like that. Historians, recorders, mathematicians, architectures and stuff like that. And so then we already had the skills. Then Esau made this stupid rule that we not be able to read and write, but that increased our intelligence more. All right, that increased it more because it improved our listening skills, our visual skills, etc. Our memories and everything. We have to remember things as we heard and stuff. So it increased. So when we so-called got out of SLAVRY, all right, when it built these fantastic towns. All right, so we already had the skills before, all right, before we was in captivity, passed our kids, then our descendants who was in captivity came out, and then some of us was free, some of it was free, man. All right, so we came together, built all these towns and cities and stuff, and Esau got jealous because we were prosperous, and he destroyed it. All right, and you can see right here the reasons. Okay. All right, you can see it. I'm scrolling up like this, man. And that was that pure hatred that he had for us, man. All right, Amos, where is it? Yeah, Amos chapter 1, verse 11 said, "Thus said Yahweh, for 3 transgression Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment, because he pursued his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity. His anger did he tell Petri, he kept his wrath forever." The sword, the actual sword, and everything he saw used, so military, police, etc., etc. All right, so you go to, let me get right here. Ezekiel 37, some of that perpetual, Ezekiel 35. All right, where is that? Yeah, Ezekiel 35 and 5, "Because thou hast perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of sword, the time of calamity and the time of iniquity had an end." This time about during the Babylonian captivity, man. All right, we was at time of calamity, man. All right, and they was pointing us out anything, man. All right, now that perpetual hatred is still there today, man. All right, still going on today. They had a perpetual hatred towards us, man. All right, so you got, let me see, Amos 1:10. All right, 1:11. Yep. "I will send a fire upon team and should devour the place of Bara." I told them nuclear missiles gonna hit America, man. All right, and this guy, man, that's all they do, just steal. Micah chapter 2, verse 1, "Woe to them that advance iniquity and work evil upon their beds when the morning is light. They practice because of the power of their hand. They covet fields, take them out violent houses, take them away, and they oppress a man, his house, every man, his heritage," right? And that's what they do, man. They took out people's land. All right, over there in Europe, Ireland, all this stuff, Scotland, Wales. All right, over there in West and Central Africa, here in America, man, they took our stuff, man. All right, and it's documented that they did this. All right, so there's no getting around it, man. And then he gonna say, "Well, everything we touch turned to crap." Well, if everything we touch turned to crap, all right, why do you import us over here, and then also why you enslave our people that was already over here, the Northern Kingdom, so-called North American Indians, and the rest that get the tribe of Gad, and so-called Seminole Indians, the tribe of Reuben, the rest of the tribes, all right, throughout the Americas, man. All right, because you knew we was a wise people. All right. All right. Everything, man. Those traffic lights, gas masks, etc. All right. George Washington made things out of sweet potatoes and peanuts and stuff, paints and etc. Man. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 7. "For what nation so great have Most High so nigh unto him as Yahweh our power is in all things that we call upon? For what nation so great that has statute, judgment, so righteous, all this law which I set before you this day?" All right. Yeah, so Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. "Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom, your understanding, sight all nations, All right, which your attachment say, sure, this is a great nation, is wise and understanding people, right? Wise and understanding, okay, law, statute, commandment, but also be wise and understanding in all things. I'm just showing how we was a wise and understanding people, man. All right, and that's what it is. All right, so this guy Robert, just a liar, man, and he thinks somehow magically they gonna get that fourth right. All right, but he think they gonna go against us. No, you gonna go against your own people, man. All right, so the Isaiah 19:2 will get the field. Isaiah 19:2, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, right? Because America's what spiritual Egypt, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. So y'all gonna be busy unaliving each other, man. It's not gonna be no 1 week either. All right, so with that, shalom.